PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Here he goes in. Throwing it down! How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire!
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
We're flying high through the highs and lows. This DC Pelicans Postgame Report. Very good news to bring y'all tonight, y'all. Pelicans get a victory. That's right. They win against the Dallas Mavricks by the score of 106-132. So we're going to get into the team statistics, player breakdowns. We're also going to do a preview of the Grizzlies and the Pelicans before we go ahead on and get up out of here. So let's get it started, man. Pelicans played awesome, played amazing. 7 3-pointers in one quarter. 132 points with no Nikolai Mirotic. And AD actually got to drink some Gatorade. Clap for that. Yes, clap for that. So let's go over some of these team statistics to show y'all how they did what they did, how they got this victory tonight. The Pelicans shot 55% from 2 and held Dallas to 42%. Shot 58% from 3, held Dallas to 30%. Hitting 17 3-pointers, man. That's got to be a team high. Out of 29 at that. While Dallas shot 46 3-pointers and only hit 14. They made 13 free throws to Dallas's 14 free throws. 65% for the Pels, 66 for Dallas. Got to do better in that area. 54 rebounds to 53. The Pels lead that. 36 assists to 26 assists. The Pels led that area. 12 steals from the Pels to Dallas's 7. 6 blocks from the Pels to Dallas's 4. 18 total turnovers for Dallas. 12 total turnovers for the Pelicans. So they also led, well, they didn't lead. They won the turnover battle. 29 points, fast break points, and, forgot to mention, 25 points off of turnovers, while Dallas had 16. And they scored 29 fast break points, and Dallas had 14. And they hit the magical number, that 59.7 or 60 points, you should say, which usually when they hit that number, they get a victory. I think it's only 3 times when they hit that mark and it didn't end with a victory. And he also held Dallas to 48 points in the paint. So they kept them under 50 while they went over 50. Usually a recipe for success with the Pelicans. Also knocking down 17 3-pointers. Very, very big. I had to say it again. Very excited to see that going. They also had 15 fouls. Dallas had 2 more fouls, so they had 17. And that'll be your team statistics. Let's go into the player statistics and break this down. You had 2 game leaders for the Pelicans. But let's go over Dallas statistics first before we get to all the dessert and whipped cream and all that on the top. Let's go over these average statistics by Dallas. Great defensive night for the Pelicans as well. I'll tell you why when we go over that segment. 16 points from Harrison Barnes. 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 turnovers. Finley Smith had 12 points, a turnover, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Luka Doncic had only 8 points. The rookie phenom was not phenomenal tonight. 4 rebounds and 6 assists. DeAndre Jordan was held to just 2 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 turnovers. Wesley Matthews led the way, 1 point behind team leader Harrison Barnes with 15 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 rebounds. On their bench, they had Kelbler chip in with 5 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. Powell had 12 points, 2 blocks, 10 rebounds. Burson had 11 points, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 2 rebounds. Harris had 2 points and 1 rebound. J.J. Barrera had 14 points, 4 turnovers, 2 steals, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Burkhoff had 9 points, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds. Now let's get into what we really want to hear about, which is the Pelican stats. You had 2 players leading the way with 27 points apiece, Julius Randle and AD. Very, very impressive. Julius Randle, in my opinion, was the player of the game. He also pulled down 18 boards. He had 1 turnover and 1 assist. So he wasn't dishing them out tonight. He was going at it. He was 3 for 7 from the line. But, I mean, hey, Julius Randle, we just got to deal with it at this point. He's probably going to be about a 60% free throw shooter. If we're lucky, maybe he could get into the 70s. But very impressive game for Julius, man. Every time he's been the starting lineup, he's stepped up. AD had 27 points. Only 4 rebounds, though. But he converted that into assists. He had 9 of those. He had 2 more dimes and 5 blocks. And basically, AD wasn't missing them free throws tonight. So I see you staying late shooting in the gym. Yeah, 5 for 6 tonight. Solomon Hill got a start tonight. He played for 23 whole minutes, and he gave you 3 points. But Solomon Hill was 1 for 4. All 3-pointers he took. He did come out with 2 assists. He had 1 turnover. But he played pretty solid defense, and he definitely contributed to this win tonight. He did his part. And you got to wonder, well, Solomon Hill is in the starting lineup. What happened to E'Twaun Moore? What? Alvin Gentry finally put E'Twaun Moore with the bench unit, and it paid huge dividends. Huge dividends, because E'Twaun Moore came off the bench and got 17 points and 4 rebounds. He had 2 turnovers, hit 3 of 4 from the 3-pointers in 26 minutes. So very strategic, smart move by Alvin Gentry. I wonder where he got that idea from. Tim Frazier, the last guy in the starting unit, had 8 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, a steal, and only 2 turnovers. So Tim Frazier looked very solid out there. I've been liking what I've been seeing from him this year. Sheik Diallo, he finally got on the court, y'all, after much pleading with Alvin Gentry on the Pelican postgame report about putting Sheik Diallo on the court. He gets out there, he gives him 23 minutes, and all Sheik does is get 10 and 10. He gets you 10 points, 10 rebounds. Oh, by the way, he also added 3 steals. Had just 1 turnover and assist. So, good game, Sheik, man. I'm happy to see him out there. Definitely a guy that should be an ingredient in the recipe for success for this team, because he's very full of energy. He does the dirty work what other people want to do, and he don't complain about it. Darius Miller got out there, had 12 points, 1 turnover, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Was 4 from 6 from 3-point line. So he was definitely on fire, man. Every time he shot it, it just looked like it was going in. I was surprised he missed the 2 he did. Wesley Johnson, guy I would have liked to see start, but I can't complain with results. We won tonight. 3 points, 1 rebound. Jahlil Okafor got some time, but it was only in trash minutes along with Wesley Johnson. They all got 4 minutes. Okafor, Ian Clark. The new guy, Andrew Harrison, happy to have him on our team, man. He also got 4 minutes. And Okafor gave you 2 points, a foul. Ian Clark gave you 6 points. He had basically hit 2 3-pointers, a steal, and a rebound. Andrew Harrison didn't get on the statistical table at all. He just had 1 personal foul, if you want to count that. But it was very, very impressive what the Pelicans went out and did. They won this game as a team, played team ball, made the right plays. Again, they had 36 assists. 36 assists, man. I mean, that's a very telling stat about how they played. They did it as a unit. And if you ask me, it was led by Julius Randle. And the fact that they put E'Twaun Moore on the bench. Yeah, not benching him, but let him come off the bench. They finished the game with 54% shooting, 58% from 3. They had 36 assists, like I told y'all, on 54 shots. And they had 4 players with 6 assists or more. You had Drew Holiday with 8. You had Tim Frazier with 7. Etuan Moore had 6. AD gave you 9. Andy Davis and Julius Randle basically shot 58% by themselves, 54 points. Etuan Moore gave them 17 points off the bench. New Orleans, all together, I mean, they had pretty much trying to find an area in the game that wasn't perfect. Well, not perfect, but to basically down. You don't really have a lot other than our free throw shooting. They led for most of the game. They had a 1-point lead entering the second quarter. They went on a 17-5 run towards the end of the game. Towards the end of the half, I mean. It was 49-36 with 8:10 remaining in the second half. Then they also never led by less than 8 points. Never led by less than 8 points throughout the rest of the game. They led by as many as 29 points in the fourth quarter. So, very team-building win. Alvin Gentry has a new lineup to play with, so maybe he can see that this is a recipe for success and continue to go with this lineup. Or maybe a similar lineup like it, where we see Etuan Moore on the bench. Because you can't argue with results, right? I hope not. So that's enough of that. We keep on congratulating them, and I ain't going to try to do that too much. I won't get the big head by one win. I mean, we playing 500 ball, though. We're basically 4 games back from a spot to make the playoffs. And we're playing the Memphis Grizzlies coming up next, who's a very good team. Very good team this year. The Grizzlies are definitely doing their thing. This is a team that we have problems with. Everybody knows all time we definitely lead the record. 32-28. At home, we're about 50%. We done won 20, lost 10. Away is where we have a problem. They beat us 18 times to 12. We were 11-0 against Memphis. Anytime we scored 110 points or more. So, judging by how this team is set up, we definitely going to reach that mark unless we have a collapse. Can't shoe us in for a victory just yet. We've also won just 4 of the last 13 meetings against the Grizzlies. So, this ain't a team that you're just going to walk through and just basically mark down as a victory, as I said earlier, because the Memphis Grizzlies provide something that AD doesn't like. Got a big guy in the paint, man, and we keep forcing him to play center. He doesn't like to see Marc Gasol down there, and I remember a long time, well, not so long ago, but maybe 2 years ago, they had Zach Randolph, who definitely posed a huge problem for us. He even posed a problem for DeMarcus Cousins, and he dropped 50 on him. But that guy ain't no longer there. So this is a new Memphis Grizzlies, but Mike Conley is also back, and we also have one of their players, Andrew Harrison. He's a guy on his career that averaged 7.4 points, 2.9 assists, 2.1 rebounds. He's a pretty good player. He stepped in for Tyreke Evans when he got hurt. He was basically the backup. And this guy is somebody I'm wondering why they let go. Not really sure. But he's with us now. Last 14 games or so of the season, I think he averaged about 14 points. Maybe it's a few more games than that. Definitely an impressive player. And another Kentucky Wildcat to add to the team. Yeah. So we got more of them. And that always work out for us. Everybody on our team that's a Wildcat balls out. We get the most out of him. So hopefully he's here to stay. And y'all hear the music. Y'all know what time it is. Got to pay them bills. They keep on coming. We got to keep on paying them. So I'm going to give you the rest of the preview of the Grizzlies show on the other side of the break. This is your host, DC, for the Pelicans Postgame Report.
Forget ESPN and Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000. Celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
What's up, Sports World? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share. And help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
And we black once again, y'all. Back. Ready to continue and finish this preview of the Memphis Grizzlies against the New Orleans Pelicans. Well, we were going over basic summaries and looking at some of these contests that we had with the Memphis Grizzlies. We had a 7-game losing streak against the Grizzlies in 2017 that we broke in February of that year. The last time before we beat them before that was in March 2015. So it's a 2-year dry spell. Yeah. They had a 5-game losing streak at the FedEx Forum previous to that. So it's really been those 13 meetings that we won just 4 out of, man. It's been embarrassing at some points. But in recent times, we've been coming around. In 3 games against the Grizzlies last season, AD did his thing, averaging 27 points, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks, basically an average night for him. In those same 3-game stretches, or in 4 games, Etuan Moore had 16.5 points, shooting 50% from the field, 43% from deep, 2.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1 1/3 steals. Drew Holiday put up 14, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, almost 2 blocks in the same 4-game stretch. One game against Memphis that Nikolai Mirotic had, he put up 25 points, only missing 2 shots, 83% from the floor, and hit 3 triples from deep. And the 2 shots he missed were 2 3-pointers. In 4 games against the Memphis Grizzlies that Julius Randle played last year, he had only 11.8 points, 7 rebounds, 1.3 assists. And on the flip side of things, the 4 games that Marc Gasol had against us, 12.8 points, 7 rebounds, 5.3 assists. Jamiah Green averaged 10 points on 52% shooting with 10 rebounds and 1 steal. In the 2 games that Wayne Weldon played, he had 16 points, shooting 63% from the floor and 62% from deep. And in the 1 game that Michael Conley played, he put up 27 points, and he also hit 4 3-pointers and gave you 5 rebounds and 3 assists and kicked in 2 steals. Alvin Gentry, all-time against the Grizzlies, his record is 17-20. So he's definitely not above 500 playing the Memphis Grizzlies. But that's all right, though, because as I told you, times have been coming around, and he was a coach. He was the coach on the team when we broke this long streak of depressing sadness from the Memphis Grizzlies. You also have a guy like Ian Clark who will be getting to go home. He was born in Memphis. He attended Germantown High School, and he stayed in the state to play collegiately at Belmont. So, I don't know. Maybe we get 10 points or so out of Ian Clark. Only time will tell. They also have a guy, Jared Temple, on their team who's from Louisiana. He's from Baton Rouge. He started at Laboratory School in Baton Rouge before playing collegiately at LSU. You got the 2-way player, Andre Harris, who's on our team, came over there to spill some of the secrets on these Grizzlies, telling us how you kill a bear. So we got him to help us out. And then you also have Etuan Moore, Nikolai Mirotic, and Joakim Noah joining up again. All those guys were on the Chicago Bulls team together, and they'll get to meet again in very different circumstances, with 2 of them being on the same team and the former being with the Grizzlies now, a guy that we hoped we could have picked up. But this is definitely a tough matchup for the Pelicans. I think they're going to pull it out, though. I know last show I was really thinking we was going to keep playing the hokey pokey, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But after seeing tonight, I think times may be changing if Alvin Gentry is willing to adjust his lineup. If he's willing to do that, you know, the man who basically just keep doing the same thing over and over again, hoping for different results, if he's willing to do some different stuff, maybe we can get some different results. So I see the Pelicans taking this game, winning by 10 points, definitely hitting over that 110 points a game mark, in which every time we did against the Memphis Grizzlies, we won with 11 points. But I also think it's going to be tough. I don't think it's going to be an easy one. We've only seen Michael Conley once, and he's back and he's healthy. And I don't think he's going to take it easy on us. So Drew Holiday going to have his work cut out for him. But if we're able to get Nikolai Mirotic back and we start Etuan Moore off the bench, maybe Drew Holiday will actually be able to get some Gatorade and have the energy to slow down a guy like Michael Conley. I don't think he's going to be able to shut him down. He ain't Luka Doncic. But before I go ahead and get out of here, we're going to end the show with some commentary from Julius Randle and Alvin Gentry about the previous victory against the Dallas Mavericks. Here is Julius Randle.
A little bit, but it's just about coming in, no matter how long I play. Just being aggressive, just playing hard show energy. Like I said, I do that. I focus on those things. Everything else falls in place.
Do you feel like you're getting more rhythm when you start?
I don't know. Like I said, my mindset doesn't really change. Whether it's starting and come off the bench. I just try to focus on what I can control. And like I said, it's my energy and my effort. And like I said, when I do that, I keep saying it over and over. Yeah, everything falls in place.
How much does it help as a starter? You get to play more minutes with AD. It seems like you guys are really attack the boards and y'all two are out there, energy's up and stuff like that. How much does that kind of play into what you're doing right now?
It's good. Anytime you share the floor with a guy like that, it's always gonna make the game easier. And it's a different dynamic. It's a lot for defenses to really adjust to. So it's good.
You guys had a different bench with each one coming off the bench. You obviously only scored 17. With you in the starting lineup, he kind of provides his scoring punch on the bench. How do you think he did tonight?
Amazing. Twan did what he does. Get buckets. Moves, makes it hard for defenses to really guard him. He can shoot the ball, get in the lane like he does.
Checking and Darius out there too, and you're looking at him at double digits. When you guys can see that bench throw the lead about 10 points in the second quarter, how much does that kind of help the starters and help the team?
It's great. Chet came in, does what he does as well. Bring energy, all the little things, blocking shots, running the floor. Darius is, obviously Darius is great at shooting the ball, and when defense close into him, getting in the paint, making a shot, or dumping it off the big. So it's great.
Not doing anything differently defensively tonight. I mean, obviously the results were so different in the first half. Last game, is that a point of that?
A little bit, yeah. We were up. The bigs up a little bit more aggressive on the ball, pick and rolls and stuff like that.
You got another teammate from Kentucky been here.
Yeah.
When you played with, what was it like for you to see him back over there?
Boy, I mean,
it's great. It's great, man. I've been playing against Drew my whole life. Since I was like 9, 10 years old, we've been going at it because he lived in Houston. And obviously we played in college together, so it's great for him to be here.
And there you have it. That's Julius Randle talking about how him and Drew Holiday played together. So I guess everybody learned something someday, because I actually forgot about that. But they did play together. He says he's been playing with him since he's 10 years old. And he also broke down how AD makes the game easier for him. And I think everybody in the league would love to have a player to play with like that. But let's go ahead into Alvin Gentry's comments and hear what the winning coach has to say today. Yeah, I'm calling him a winning coach because he's making winning moves. He keeps doing stuff like this and willing to change his mindset, try different things. Sky's the limit, maybe. The sky may be the limit for the Pelicans, or maybe they're able to go in outer space. Who knows? Here's Al Gentry.
Coach, you made an adjustment to your starting lineup. Your team hit 17 threes. You have by the season high, yes. Season high assists, 36. Largest margin of victory ever against the Mavricks. A lot of things went your way tonight.
I thought we started the game, with a lot of energy. I thought Julius had a lot of energy. We moved the basketball. We got out and ran. We did everything that we had to try to replicate what we, did early in the season, and I thought we did a good job of that.
17 points for each one more. You led all bench scorers. Is that the desired effect you had in making part of this adjustment?
Well, I thought that it would be good, and he would give us another, a ball handler and another scorer off the bench, and I thought it worked out great. And then I thought Solomon did a good job as a starter. I thought he was solid. The shots that he took was good, and I thought he was good defensively. So the big thing was that I just thought we played with so much energy, and we pushed the basketball, and we have to end up with 29 fast break points. That's what we have to try to do, because it's telling me that most of those points in fast break are going to be pretty easy points. So, we need to do that every night. But the assist thing is what's great. We get 51 baskets and we got 36 assists, and so that's saying the ball is moving and we're getting it to the right people.
What have you seen from Julius' last 2 games, putting up big numbers the way he has?
I think he's a good player. It doesn't surprise me at all. I think that, he has that rare ability to be a really physical player. but he can handle the basketball and he can be a facilitator too. And he's been great on the boards for us also. And so just the kind of help that I think AD really appreciates and needs.
Is he playing well enough to make you consider keeping him in that starting lineup next to AD?
Sure. I mean, I think that's something that's got to be discussed for sure. Because I think he's, if you go back and you look at his numbers at the start and what he's done, it's something that we definitely have to, sit down and talk about.
To mention the energy there, is that something you can kind of feel immediately that those guys are going to play in a different way than they did against the Clippers? And did it translate throughout the game?
Not really, because I thought we had good energy against the Clippers. We had a tough stretch in between. I thought we started the game fine. We had a tough stretch, where they made a lot of plays and we didn't. But in that game, we still battled back. And, at the end of the day, we were up 4 points with less than 5 minutes to go in the game at home, after being down 31. So, whatever it was, I don't know. But, it was a lot of points, And so I just thought that, as long as we're not having that be an opportunity to cut a big lead to a single-digit lead, where we need those situations to be where all of a sudden we get separation like tonight. Where when we have a run, a 10-2 or a 14-2 run, that is giving us a lead and giving us separation instead of closing the gap on where we are.
You guys have kind of gone win-loss here. I mean, is energy one of those things that you can point to in each of the wins and each of the losses? Do you feel like you're down?
Not really, because I think that we have played, hard in some of the losses. We just hadn't played well, or we hadn't played well enough to win the game. But, I don't think that, when we win, we play hard, and when we lose, we're not playing very hard. I don't agree with that. I think that we played hard and we've had the energy out there, and sometimes it just hadn't gone our way, or the teams have made a shot, the other night, Lou Williams' shot is a really difficult shot, but that's what he does. And so I don't necessarily think it was because we weren't competing or playing hard. We just didn't quite get the job done.
Coach, how's Anthony's ankle, and is there any concern about him possibly missing any time?
I won't know. We'll look at it. I think it's going to be okay, but it's one of those deals where, it's going to be something that's there, and he just, most of the time he tries to play through things like that, and so we'll just have to wait and see what the medical guys say.
You guys held them to 42% shooting, forced 18 turnovers. Are you happy with how the defensive game plan was executed?
I thought we did a really good job, because I tell you, Luka is he's a really good player, and they have a lot of guys on that team that's very capable. Wes Matthews is healthy now, and you can see what he brings to the table, and they just got a lot of guys. DJ does a great job of anchoring the defense, and they play really, really good basketball. Everybody forget that they started out 2-7, and so for them to be 12 and 11 now, obviously they've had a good run in there.
And that was Alvin Gentry going over his thoughts on the Pelicans' victory. And I have to agree with him with a few things, man. He definitely need to consider Julius Randle for that starting position. So, yeah, they need to sit down and do that ASAP. Nikolai Mirotic and Etuan Moore coming with the bench unit, and possibly having AD, Julius Randle, or Nikolai out there. One of those guys at all times. Fresh and not all wore out and tired. So that would be lovely to see. And as he talked about, and I didn't get a chance to mention earlier in the show, was AD's ankle and his situation. He definitely rolled his ankle in the game. Nothing serious. He walked off the court under his own power. And I anticipate him being suited up for the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, you wrap an ace band, just run and get it popping. That's what it is. But that's going to be it for the show, y'all, tonight. Very, very happy and intrigued with the moves of the Pelicans. See where they'll be going in the future. And this is DC signing out with the Pelicans post-game report. I believe we're going to continue to fly high. So Pelicans soar. Peace.